Admit it, you got me feeling hella loved. Even when it's going down, know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it in my heart. Yeah, I won't stop charging. We going come hard.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. So there's a lot of rumors going on lately, and some absolute ridiculous rumors, to be honest, going on lately about Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks. No, he should not request a trade. And first of all, I have to say this to Max Kellerman. You know, I know he's not going to watch this, but I still have to say it just to get it off my chest. How disrespectful do you have to be to sit there and say that Carmelo Anthony should not be the number one option on that team? And that he's not. He said that Kristaps Porzingis should be the number one option on that team. That makes no sense. Porzingis does not have the scoring ability that Carmelo Anthony has. Why would you put someone who just came off a season averaging 14 points per game as your number one option, where you have someone that for his career averaged 25 points per game, that is averaging 23 points per game right now? Did you guys see last night's game against the Brooklyn Nets? He started off, and this is the first game he actually started off bad in the first half. I think he was like 0 for 7 to start, or like 0 for 5 to start off. And then in that third quarter, the dude hit 7 straight shots. I was going crazy. I was like, oh my goodness. People started blowing up my some of the comments on my older Melo videos, like, Steve, you were right. Do you see Melo? He was just going off. I mean, he would catch it. He did like an in and out, pulled it back. What the hell is that? Pulled it back, and then he freaking shot, and there's a loud truck going by. Are you serious? I don't know why. This is worse than New York City. There's so many loud trucks that go by in my college. But anyway. So he did like an in and out, and he pulled it back, and he caught the dude's ankles, pulled up from 3. He got it in the post, turned around over the right shoulder, on net. I mean, the dude, it was 7 straight shots in a row. I think he scored 14 points in a row. I may be wrong about that, but it was something close to like 14 points in a row against the Brooklyn Nets. And then he got fouled, and he stepped back, and he missed, and then he started to slow down, but still. And the crazy thing is, he didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter. I think he only played like 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. What Coach Hornacek did, which I do agree with, he had the bench in for a while. The bench was playing well. Brandon Jennings, I think he had like 14 assists. Brandon Jennings was playing well. He benched Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, which is a good thing because Brandon Jennings was playing well. And Kuzminskis was doing good. I mean, it was the Knicks were playing good, man. You know, you had Brandon Jennings with the 14 assists, but not only that, he had Porzingis out with the bench to see if him and the bench can learn how to play together, and if they played together and learned how to play together. And they were playing well. And then he took Porzingis out, and he put Melo in to play with the bench by himself. Melo with the bench. And they played well as well. And Melo didn't even have to score. That's how good they were. And did you see Brandon Jennings? He was like going, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Sometimes I get really frustrated, but sometimes I'm also like, okay, I like this guy. But most of the time I get frustrated with him. He takes some stupid shots and some stupid passes. But for the most part, I really like him. You guys see that play when, you know, that guy was talking trash to him and Brandon Jennings was talking trash as well. Brandon Jennings pulled back, caught his ankle, and hit the 3 in his face like, you can't guard me, you ain't guarding me. And then he stole the ball from him, bounced pass between his legs to Kristaps Porzingis for the and one two-handed tomahawk. That was crazy. That was a great game. That was a great game. Melo was struggling. I was like, you know what, I have a feeling Melo's gonna go off in the second half, and he did. He went off in the second half, and it was great to watch, man. It's good to see Melo do that. And the scary thing is, he only had 22 points. He struggled in the first half. In the third quarter, he took over, hit like 7 straight shots, 14 straight points, something crazy like that. Maybe slightly off, but still. I know it's like 7 straight shots, though. Right? And then he just fucking, he checked. Every time, and that was with Brandon Jennings on the floor. Every time Brandon Jennings got him the ball, he checked, pull up, bang. He checked, pull up, bang. And then when he was off the floor in the fourth quarter to like the 6-minute mark, yesterday I didn't mind because it made sense because we were up by 12. We weren't losing, so it made sense yesterday, right? So we were up, and then Porzingis comes in the fourth with the bench. Remember I said that earlier. Porzingis came in earlier with the bench, and he was going crazy too. He had 2 straight threes, and then he had an and one dunk, and I was just like, what the hell? First Melo, and now Porzingis is going off. I mean, geez, if only we could play like this all the time. If only we could play like this all the time. And first of all, there's a lot of rumors going on. Brook Lopez is listen, this guy is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He's been putting up consistent numbers, whether the Nets were making the playoffs back when they had Paul Pierce and Joe Johnson, and even when they're not making the playoffs, he's been putting up consistent numbers. He's a consistent 20 and 10 guy. Not 20 and 10. 20 and 8. He's a great player. So, Brook Lopez, if you want to go somewhere, go talk to Melo. People are saying they're gonna trade. The Nets are gonna trade him to the Chicago Bulls to play with his twin brother Robin Lopez. That would be cool to see them. Then that would be real Twin Towers. That would be pretty cool to see. You have the scoring and defensive ability and rebounding ability of Brook Lopez, and then Robin Lopez, you have the pick and roll ability, the ability to switch, and the defensive awareness, and the decent post game. So that would be good. That would be a good front court to match up, and plus Brook Lopez can spread the floor with the three and even with the mid-range shot, and the same with Robin Lopez. He can't shoot threes like his brother can, but he has a mid-range jump shot. He has a post game. That would work out well. Brook Lopez and go to Chicago, that would work out extremely well. I would be happy to see that. I would be happy to see him go there. Finally play for a contending team. Not contending, but, play for a good playoff team. Because, to be honest, he's wasting his career in Brooklyn with the Nets. He's wasting it. He is. He got drafted there, but come on, dude, you got to go somewhere else. And you want to talk about wasting their career. The New Orleans Pelicans are an absolute travesty. Anthony Davis right now needs to request a trade. He cannot, and obviously they're not going to trade him until the trade deadline because they're going to be assholes, but unless someone offers him something like pretty solid. But I mean, come on. The dude, he's an elite player, and he's been on that team for what, 5 years now? 5, 6, almost 6 years. 4, 5, I would say 4 to 6, anywhere from there. And they still haven't surrounded him with good players. What does that remind you of? LeBron, Carmelo. You know what I mean? That's exactly what happened to those two in their early career. Chris Bosh. Kobe for a stretch after Shaq. That's what it reminds me of. So in terms of that, it's like, come on, man. Obviously Melo was good enough to lead his team to the playoffs, and but if you want to compare, I think Anthony Davis has it worse than Melo did in Denver. I think Anthony Davis has it worse than LeBron did in his first route with Cleveland. That's how bad it is. Tyreke Evans was such a great player. 25-5. And then I don't know what happened after that. I think he was like the third player, or maybe fourth. Either third or fourth player in NBA history to average 25-5 in his rookie year. It was LeBron, MJ, and I think Kareem. So what happened? When I was 08, 09. I remember me and my boy Tom, we used to always watch basketball, game time, everything, right? So every day in junior high school, the day after, we like, all right, what's going on? What's the news? Let's talk, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we were both saying, like, Tyreke Evans, yo. He's one of the only, like, a handful, not even, like, 3 players, one of 3, 4 players to ever average 25-5 in the rookie of the year. And we were like, oh, this dude's going to be an NBA superstar. But what the hell happened? He fell off. Injuries. And they've yet to get, at least get him a point guard. Get him a solid point guard. Get him some solid defenders around him, some shooters. I really feel bad for him. I feel bad for Anthony Davis. I do. It's sad. It's an absolute travesty. And I don't know where he can go. The Oklahoma City Thunder maybe. For a trade. I don't know. Maybe, but they're gonna have to give up probably Adams and Cantor and other players. Probably give up Oladipo as well. But if you think about it, you get Westbrook and Anthony Davis. I'm not saying this could happen. I'm not sure about the exact whatever in terms of having money and things. I don't know the exacts. I'm just saying hypothetically, if he goes to Oklahoma City for a trade, imagine they give up Victor Oladipo and let's say Steven Adams or Enes Kanter. Okay, so they make the playoffs this year, but they get eliminated probably in the first round. Okay, that's cool, or maybe second round. That's cool. But you bring that to the off season with this free agency. You don't even have to go after Blake Griffin or Chris Paul. You don't need those star players anymore. Now that you have Russell Westbrook and hypothetically Anthony Davis, you won't need to go after those players. You just need to go after the solid defenders and the shooters. That's all you would need. So in terms of that, they would be good. That would be a good trade. That would be smart. So in terms of that, man, I feel bad for Anthony Davis. I mean, it's worse. Anthony Davis' situation right now is worse than Carmelo's the last few years. I don't know about, maybe. But it's definitely worse than Melo's stretch in Denver. It's definitely worse than LeBron's first stretch in Cleveland. You know, it's sad, man. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Peace.